golden haze of a midday, sun beating down on the dusty backroads of rural Kansas. Marcus gripped the steering wheel of his battered pickup truck, his knuckles white as he fought back tears. The eviction notice crumpled in his pocket felt like a lead weight, a cruel reminder that his world was crumbling. His 8-year-old son, Tyler, sat beside him, oblivious to the storm raging in his father's heart, munching on a stale sandwich from their nearly empty cooler. Marcus had just lost his construction job, the third in a year, leaving him with mounting bills, a leaky roof over their tiny apartment, and the gnawing fear that he couldn't provide for the boy, who was his only light since losing his wife to cancer 2 years ago. As they drove past endless fields, Marcus spotted a weathered shade on the edge of a modest farm, its roof sagging like a defeated old man, boards splintered and paint peeling under the relentless daylight. Something in him stirred, a flicker of purpose amid the despair, and he pulled over, determined to offer his skills, even if it meant working for scraps. If you believe in the power of kindness and second chances, hit that like button. Drop a comment below sharing your own story of unexpected help. Share this video with someone who needs inspiration, and subscribe to Life Spark Stories for more tales that ignite the soul. Marcus approached the farmhouse, day heat shimmering off the gravel path, sweat already beading on his forehead. The door creaked open to reveal Sophia, in her late 60s with sun-kissed skin and eyes that held the quiet wisdom of someone who'd weathered countless seasons. She wore faded overalls and a wide-brimmed hat, her hands calloused from years of tending the land. Marcus introduced himself haltingly, explaining he was a handyman down on his luck to fix her shed for whatever she could spare, maybe a meal or a few dollars. Sophia regarded him with a measured gaze, her farm appearing humble with its overgrown vegetable patch and a few chickens pecking at the dirt under the bright afternoon sky. She nodded slowly, accepting his help without fanfare. As Marcus rolled up his sleeves, he felt a rare sense of relief in the simple act of building something solid in a life that felt like shifting sand. The days blurred into a rhythm of sweat and sawdust under the unrelenting sun. Marcus arrived each morning after dropping Tyler at school, his muscles aching from sleepless nights poring over unpaid bills by lamplight. He'd hammer nails into the shed's frame, the rhythmic thud echoing across the fields like a heartbeat. Sophia brought him iced tea and sandwiches, her quiet presence a balm to his isolation. He shared bits of his story in fragmented breaths, the car accident that claimed his wife, the endless job hunts that led nowhere, the way Tyler's innocent questions about when they'd have a real home pierced his soul deeper than any wound. Sophia listened without judgment, her own life a mystery he didn't pry into. She spoke of the land's demands, the solitude after her husband's passing, and how the shed had stood as a symbol of neglect since a storm ravaged it months ago. As the structure took shape, roof straightened, walls reinforced, Marcus felt his own resolve strengthening, the physical labor a distraction from the eviction looming like a dark cloud. Yet, challenges mounted one afternoon. A call from Tyler's school about unpaid fees left Marcus slumped against the shed, tools forgotten, his face buried in his hands as the sun dipped lower, casting long shadows that mirrored his despair. Unbeknownst to Marcus, Sophia's modest facade hid a vast empire. The fields stretching beyond the horizon weren't just neighboring plots. Hers, thousands of acres of fertile farmland inherited and expanded through decades of shrewd stewardship. She lived simply by choice, her wealth tucked away in trusts and investments, her heart scarred by opportunists who'd sought her fortune rather than her company. Watching Marcus work tirelessly, his calloused hands moving with quiet determination, stirred something in her, a recognition of genuine goodness in a world that had often felt cold. She saw the exhaustion in his eyes during their midday breaks, the way he'd glance at his phone with worry, and heard the unspoken pleas in his stories of struggle. As the shed neared completion, its fresh paint gleaming under the afternoon light, Sophia decided to reveal her truth, not out of pity, but from a place of shared humanity. The final day, as Marcus applied the last coat of varnish, the sun high and birdsong filling the air, Sophia invited him inside for a proper meal. The farmhouse interior surprised him, simple yet warm, with photos of expansive lands on the walls hinting at her hidden world. Over homemade stew, she confessed her ownership of the sprawling estate, her voice steady but eyes glistening. Marcus froze, the spoon halfway to his mouth, disbelief washing over him like a summer rain. She explained how his selfless act had restored not just her shed, but her faith in people, and in return, she offered him a caretaker position on her land, a steady job, a cottage for him and Tyler, and the stability he'd chased like a marriage. Tears streamed down Marcus's face as the weight of his burdens lifted, the daylight streaming through the windows symbolizing a new dawn. Tyler arrived later, running into his father's arms, the boys' laughter echoing as they explored their future home amid the golden fields. Before we wrap up, drop a comment below with how this story reminded you of a second chance in your own life. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If this tale of unexpected kindness and redemption touched your heart, please like, comment, share and subscribe to keep the spark alive in more stories like this.